Make decisions. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. Deciding for yourself what you want to experience is a big part of why you incarnate in the first place. It is not to get it right. It is not to prove yourself to anyone or anything. You are here to experience life in as many different ways as possible. In so doing, you give yourself the information that you need to create the experience you ultimately want to have. Many of you are wondering at this time what you are supposed to be doing, what your purpose is. Your purpose is to live your life, to sample as much of it as you can, and then make the decisions that are most appropriate for you. You are here to make decisions about who you want to be, what you want to experience, and how you want to get there. This is the ultimate in free will. And it is more important for you to accept yourself as you are than it is for you to get to some state of perfection. You are not here to perfect anything about yourself. The world doesn't need perfect humans. The world does need your diversity, and so all of you being in different places on your evolutionary journey is perfect. All of you making different decisions for yourself is perfect, and all of you giving each other permission to make different decisions about how you want to live and what you want to experience is also perfect. Once you decide that you want to experience something, you create it. The creation of that experience exists, and it exists for you and you alone. Now, once you create something, most of you would like to take the fastest route possible to the experience of it. If your desire burns strongly enough, then that desire is going to take you there more quickly, but not necessarily through the easiest path. The more unattached you are to the experience you've created, the easier the path you will take, and it will be most enjoyable. When you recognize the inevitability of the experience of all of your creations, it is much easier for you to relax and enjoy the ride. And you can take some pressure off yourself because there is no right desire. There's no right way to be. There's only the decision that you make, and whether you are in a judgment of it, whether you resist it, or whether you accept it as a natural consequence of your existence. When you do that, you embrace everything. And when you embrace everything, you choose anything. Different perspectives serve you. This is the time for all of you to relinquish your attachments to one particular perspective of reality. Anytime you find yourself climbing to something as though it were the only truth, you are not giving yourself the opportunity to see a bigger picture. No matter what your truth is right now, we invite you to consider that it is only a perspective. We invite you to loosen your grip on your tightly held perspective of anything so that you can give yourself the opportunity to experience what it is like to have an open mind. We invite you to hold different perspectives and to see how you feel. You may be so ingrained in your particular perspective that you stopped questioning long ago whether it actually resonated with you. Perhaps others have taught you to believe that this perspective is the one right and true perspective that everyone should hold. Just imagine how limiting that would be for humanity if you were to all hold the same perspective. It may sound like a utopian society, but to us it sounds more like boredom. We invite you to see how perspectives that are different from your own serve you. They give you something to compare your perspective to. They allow you to feel things, to give you the opportunity to experience acceptance, compassion, and unconditional love. If you can hold unconditional love in your heart for someone whose perspective is diametrically opposed to your own, imagine how powerful you could be and how easily you could unite people. Unity doesn't mean that you're all thinking the same thoughts or holding the same perspective or having the same exact beliefs. Unity means loving each other even though those others exist with their different perspective. If you can spend some time imagining what it might be like to exist in someone else's reality, you may find that compassion. We are not saying that you have to adapt any one perspective at all. We are not saying that you have to swap your perspective for one that is better or different. We are merely suggesting that you try other perspectives on for size to see how they feel, to see how they can evoke compassion and unconditional love within you. When you do, you will notice how much easier it is for you to get along with people. And when you do, you will notice that other people are getting along with each other. And then you will notice that other countries are getting along with each other. And then you will notice the peace and harmony on planet Earth that you all want to experience. Chapter 4, Receiving Energy. Slow down to keep up. You are making tremendous strides forward in your evolution, and we are matching your strides with what we are transmitting to you. It is a fun game for us to see how much you can keep up with, and then to see if you can go beyond where you have been before. We notice that you're also needing to slow down, and you often give yourselves reason to slow down. Whether you are tired or you have some sickness, you are getting the message loud and clear. And one thing that you may have noticed about life there on planet Earth is that everyone wants to be moving faster. Part of this urge comes from the sense that you get from the higher frequency energy. There is a sense that you need to keep up. And the way that you have traditionally kept up in life is to move faster, think faster, talk faster. So it may seem counterintuitive to you that you slow down. You need to slow down to keep up. You need to go within in order to expand. These seemingly paradoxical experiences are what life is all about for you. Now there will come a time when you'll have more of a desire and a need to take action. And if you listen to your bodies now and slow down, your actions will be more effective. If you continue to push yourselves through the pain, the tiredness, the illness that you have, you'll make things harder on yourself in the long run. It may help you to remember that in this lifetime you are here to experience something very big. It's something bigger than you could possibly imagine in previous lifetimes. And now that you have gotten a whiff of the fifth dimension, you are all very eager to get there. And again, you don't have to move faster to get there faster. In fact, if you really want to make the gigantic leaps forward, you need to stop everything so that you can go within yourself and feel for that timeline. You are getting a tremendous amount of help, and it's time that you all laid back and received it. It's time for you to let go yourselves and take yourselves off the hook and rest when you need to rest. This certainty is not a sprint, it is a marathon. You keep expanding. It is important for you to all recognize that you have come a very long way. It is impossible for you to go backwards in your evolution. And we want to celebrate how far you've come by recognizing that you are bringing so much more of source energy into your current dimension. That is why you can never go back. You are accessing so much more source energy because of the harshness of the realities that you have faced, and you are responsible for the expansion that is occurring, not just in your world, but in the universe. Where the biggest challenges are is precisely where the greatest expansion occurs. You see, you must summon source energy first, and you do that by living in harsh conditions. And then you must allow that source energy to flow, and you do that when you relax and let it in. And then you get to the experience, the newly expanded state of your world. You get to experience the newly expanded state of your consciousness. Everything is going smoothly now for you, no matter how it might look. The truth is that you need the beings in power who are in power right now to be doing exactly what they're doing, because they represent the minority, and that minority has to be loud in order to have the desired effect. You see, you still need to pull more of the source energy through yourselves, and the only way to summon it is to have the experiences that you're having of the few but powerful who are still wanting to play the third-dimensional game of victim and perpetrator. But as you access more of the source energy that you truly are, and you turn your attention to what you want to create, you take your power back. If you don't agree to play the victim, then the perpetrator has nothing to play with. And as you continue to allow more of source energy to flow into your dimension, you continue to bring yourselves to a doorstep of the fifth dimension, where you'll all know your true power, the true power that comes from within, the power of source. Depositing codes in your fields. We have been sending you some codes that you'll unpack from your energy fields when the timing is right, and the timing will be different for each of you, as you are all on different paths. These codes are meant to activate within you the full expression of who you are as source energy beings. This is the ultimate experience of being physical. Maintaining your physicality while still being able to access the source energy frequency is what you all aspired to do before you incarnated into physical bodies. Now, we are not granting you the ability to do this. You have always had it. You have always been able to connect to the truth of who you really are, while still maintaining physical human bodies. But we and others like us agreed to be the ones to remind you of who you really are. And we give you those reminders through the memories that you have of being higher dimensional. If you were able to fully experience this, we would appear to you as gods, and extraterrestrials have done this throughout the history. They have posed as gods, and even though they had physical form, you believed in them. When you descended through our dimension, you had certain experiences. You felt things that you could only feel as ninth-dimensional beings. And we have access to those feelings and those memories, and that is what we have deposited into your fields. Those experiences and feelings will bring you back to a time where you remember the truth of who you really are as source energy beings. Now, we can do this without interfering with your process because, as we said, you won't unpack those codes and have those memories that will elicit those feelings until you are ready. But just that they are there, compliments of us, and that there is so much more where they came from. There is so much more for you to discover about who you are and who you have already been. Give and expect to receive. We have discovered the best way for us to give you what you need is to offer it to you freely and without any need of anything from you. One of the reasons why we take this approach is because there isn't anything that we need. However, we still receive from the universe as a result of the energy that we have put out. This practice of giving without the need for compensation is one that we really want to start practicing, because as you give freely, you put yourselves in a position to also receive without needing to compensate anyone. Your world has been using the direct exchange system because of a lack of trust. If you don't trust that everything will come back to you that you put out, then you feel the need to receive something right away. You feel the need for a guarantee, a contract, something enforceable by law. And the less you trust in the universe to bring you an equivalent to what you put out, the less you receive. Therefore, don't wait for someone to offer you a job, and don't wait until you have your business all set up with a perfect business plan in place. Don't wait for anything or anyone to start giving, and when you give, remember also to receive. Remember the importance of feeling that trust and that worthiness to receive from the universe. There is so much that you have summoned in this lifetime and in all lifetimes put together. There is so much that the universe wants to deliver to you, and you open the gateway when you initiate the process by putting more of yourself out there. Once the gates are open, then what you have coming to you can flow easily. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you.